We should be live with the 33rd episode of the PiP Podcast. As always, I am Jacob, and I am accompanied by my good friend Khalid.
How's it going?
Well, would you like to lead us off with a topic this time, or do you want me to?
I can lead you off with a topic. So you know that there's a dump of what's going to be coming on with like Switch games. I think there's supposed to be a Switch announcement. You heard that?
Yeah, I have heard that.
So one of the games that I'm saying I'm not going to buy a Switch. But have you ever played Bayonetta?
I have.
And so Bayonetta 3 is scheduled to come out for the Switch. Really weird that they're not going to put it on all, or at least like Xbox and Switch, but for now it's going to be Switch. Still developed by Platinum Games, so I'm interested to see how that plays out.
With the Switch news, apparently on Twitter today, I saw that Dante was trending, as in the Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I got you.
And people are saying that Dante might be in Smash Brothers. Or coming to Smash Brothers. Because I think Nintendo is going to announce... Yeah, okay. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, Nintendo Direct live stream featuring roughly 50 minutes of information focused on available games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and games upcoming in the first half of 2021. So I don't know what led everyone to be like, Dante.
I don't know. It's very weird because at one time Devil May Cry was like a console exclusive just to PlayStation. I think it still is just exclusive to PlayStation, right?
No.
Okay, so
you can play it on Xbox and stuff.
Okay, so at one time it just was.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting where it's like they had their reasons why, like, so Nintendo's like, okay, we'll put Solid Snake in there. Well, you know, he was in that video game Nintendo. We'll put Mega Man. Yeah, so they kept doing that. And then they start getting a little bit further. It's like, okay, Bayonetta. But Waluigi still hasn't made it to Smash, has he?
No, he is not. That was the biggest meme and the biggest sad.
Like, Dante's going to go to Smash. So basically, a PlayStation, Sony character is going to make it to Smash Bros. Before Waluigi. It's pretty, that's pretty disrespect. So,
yeah.
Fine.
That's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like, in a way, Nintendo has gone downhill for the Smash scene.
Yeah.
Since the Twitter outbreak of all the Smash, like the competitive Smash players.
I agree.
Because then they were like, no, you can't live. We're not going to live stream our tournament. And everyone was like, okay, we're just not going to play in your tournament. We're going to go make our own and live stream it. I can't get over that. That was like, it was so funny to just have that happen. Just, yeah, no, we don't care about your tournament. We just all wanted to play in a tournament. So we're going to make our own. I don't know. I wonder if that helped them by doing that in a way with Nintendo, or if it worsened their relationship with Nintendo.
I don't know. It's such a weird sort of situation with Nintendo. Like their early days of Let's Plays, and they rejected people even basically talking about their stuff and showing it, and then allowing it, and mercifully, I don't know. So Nintendo's so strange when it comes to just the new technologies of how people get information.
Yeah,
they play it weirdly. I'm not the biggest like Smash Bros fan. I just remember, I I think it was like a few of the guys were playing it, and they've been playing it like for weeks now. And then I come in and I wreck them all with Pac-Man first playing. Just like you guys have had it for weeks, and I just destroy you all with just good old Pac-Man. I love it.
In Ultimate, I'm pretty good with Wii Fit Trainer, honestly.
Yeah.
Then I suck at the person from Xenoblade. I got okay with them, but they have one ability. It's backslash, and I always backslash off of the map. You see him go backslash KO. And I'm like, oh.
Speaking of, because I think Xenoblade is like what, a spiritual successor of Xenogear.
Maybe.
If they ever bring Xenogear back, like my goodness gracious, what like maybe I should find an emulator of that and just play Xenogear because it's such a phenomenal like RPG. Especially like JRPG, but RPG in general.
Hmm. So wait, do you like Dragon Quest?
I liked watching it.
Dragon Quest was probably one of the first RPG games I had on the DS that wasn't like Pokemon.
Wow.
I don't consider Pokemon that much of like an RPG.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah. It was Sentinels of the Starry Sky, and I got stuck on an owl.
Crazy enough though, Xenogears just 2020 Xenogears turned 22 years old. It's a 22-year-old game.
Yes, it came out the year I was born.
That is so hilarious. I wonder what
Actually, it's 2023 now. No, I fucked up. It's 23 now. Because its birthday was February 11th. That's when it was initially released. So it literally just turned 23.
Kid, I was playing that game before you could even be born.
Wait, so is the Xeno saga related to those?
And I think they're all like spiritual sequels, disconnected, and all this others like things. Like they're not really, by any ways, connected to them. Because I know one is just like they're kind of. It's really weird the way they do it. Like some kind of just like callback, but there's no real story connections and all this other stuff. But
there's one named Xeno Saga, Pied Piper, and I'm like, Tierfer. I'm convinced that that's what that flute is. It's gonna make them like lead rats.
Possibly. It is a magic item.
Finally, a magic flute.
Oh, see, it's a pan flute though.
I wonder if he has actually used it and just isn't telling anyone.
That's possible.
Probably. If we would like to get through all of the gaming news, I have that pulled up. So, the Neverwinter, like D&D Online Neverwinter.
Yes.
I don't necessarily like that one. It's not as fun as the first one, in my opinion. But they fully rebuilt their Feywild for, I guess, the new expansion.
Yeah.
So they fully redid the Feywild. I don't know. Looking at the pictures, it kind of looks pretty good. By pictures, I mean the one picture I see on this article. Looks like any normal MMO. So they saw it.
My cat just fell off the couch.
Uh,
He's confused.
but that's all I have for Neverwinter. But there's going to be a Baldur's Gate 3 live stream.
Okay.
And it's quote unquote, according to PC Gamer, the biggest patch note ever forged in the fiery pits of Larian. So like there's gonna be some really cool updates added to it with with patch 4. So and apparently it will break your save game like the other patches did. The panel from how to by Larian's creative director Swin Vinsek, I guess that's how you pronounce that, and the Wizards of the Coast principal rules designer of Dungeons and Dragons Jeremy Crawford.
Jeremy
And
Crawford.
will feature various guests as a climax. There's going to be a live stream of the latest content from Baldur's Gate 3, the biggest update yet. I don't see a date for this live stream.
Okay.
Wait. The panel from Hell 2. Oh, wow. It starts in 14 hours. So, tomorrow, at some point, will be the live stream. 14 hours from now. It literally was like, click this link. And I'm like, okay, click it. And it gave me a giant countdown. Give me what I need to get back into playing Baldur's Gate 3. With that, you're a fan of Resident Evil, right?
Yes.
Do you know what Resident Evil Outrage is?
Outrage?
Yeah, I think it's a new one coming out.
Is it going to be a game or the CG movies?
I'm not. Okay, wait. It's a new game. It's a game. It is apparently Resident Evil Outrage is a new game in the Revelations subseries, and it will release within a year of Resident Evil Village. And apparently that was made. The claim was made by a leaker with a decent track record. So the leaker is Dusk Golem. They did Resident Evil 8 leaks ahead of its reveal, among other things. So I'm not big into Resident Evil. I know Resident Evil Village interests me because of the setting. But I know like Trey really enjoys it. And then Noah said I had a Leon Kennedy haircut. And I was like, bro, I ain't even trying to do that.
Leon S. Kennedy.
S. Kennedy? What is that supposed to... What? Is that his name?
Yeah, he'll like introduce himself, and especially in 4 as Leon S. Kennedy.
Bruh. Over the top.
Yep. No, yes, that's an accurate statement.
Chivalry 2 will release in June. After being pushed out of 2020, Chivalry 2 is expected to release sometime this year, and now we know that it'll be out on June 8th, with a closed beta starting March 26th. I enjoyed Chivalry a little bit more than other games of its genre, I think. Other than Reign of Kings. I think Reign of Kings adopting like Chivalry combat system, that was a plus, because Reign of Kings was like a survival. And with the survival, like the survival games, I'm pretty sure that Valheim game is actually sold like 2 million copies. Like so far. Khaled?
I'm here.
I was like, why are you so quiet?
I'm a listener.
I have to like be on guard because when Discord says, "No, I'm just gonna hang up," sometimes I don't notice.
Yeah.
So, some people are saying Valheim could be the biggest ever viral hit game on Steam. 2 million copies sold. It's now the third most played game on the platform. But yeah, in just 13 days, Valheim has accomplished a player game that will put many other massive games to shame. So, there are concurrent players right now, or as of yesterday, was 370,000 concurrent players.
Wow.
And compared to other genres like Rust, or same genre like Rust, Rust has never reached a comparable point according to this.
Mm-hmm.
And the similarly viral battle royale PUBG, which just took over 3 months took just over 3 months in 2017 to reach more than 350,000 players. It later peaked at 3 million players. But again, Valheim broke that in a week instead of 3 months. So I'm thinking about getting it. I know I talked to Noah about it. He said he wanted to get it. Trey said he wanted to get it. Might be a thing. I don't think I've talked to Josh about it. I see him in the chat. I don't think I've asked him about it.
Ooh. Surprise.
Josh can't play with us. He's forbidden.
Oh. Surprise twice.
Surprise. Ooh. So here's some unsettling concept art from PC Gamer article. I love looking at the PC Gamer articles. They're not just about the games, they're about like the tech hardware as well sometimes. That's why I look at it. Let's see here. Stop showing the podcast. But the art looks really good. And I want to get the original Silent Hill game to play because my cousin couldn't find it. But I want Noah to play it is the thing. I think he would die, actually. I think he might just have a heart attack. If my man can't watch Supernatural, my man, he ain't gonna enjoy it. But we gonna enjoy it. That's the thing.
Toyama. Very interesting. I don't know if it's just rumor, but of course they're talking about Silent Hills being taken over by Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima, kind of like taken off the hands of Cap or Konami, which would be great.
Yeah. So did that fix it? I'm unsure.
I can hear you, but I just can also
I know.
tell.
Asking Josh.
Ooh.
That was weird. So that fixed it. Talking about Siege. This is definitely, I'm just going to say what I said real quick. This is definitely a hero I'm going to play. And then to answer your question, not one of those people that has to have the game at the very beginning, or else I feel like I don't have a leg up. Most of the games I play don't I don't need to be there at the beginning anyway. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So I play a lot of battle royales and stuff.
Looking at this character design, you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Daredevil. This looks like a Daredevil poster.
It does. I would agree.
I wonder, is he going to be European versus American?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, I think I do know what happened though.
What is that?
So before the stream, I had to fix the audio. So I fixed it, but changing scenes to a different scene, it didn't. I didn't add the fix to the other scene, so it was like still silent. I understand. And the hero hasn't been announced, Josh. If that's all you got, is that the one picture that was up there with the glasses? The full reveal is going to be February 21st. And that brings us to the last thing, which is DayZ. So DayZ is getting, or it got its first update of 2021. It involves a wipe of all the official servers and character progression, which is good. It's much needed. I really want to play DayZ again. There are more threats, so I guess they added the S-Vow as a gun, a rifle, which will now spawn at helicopter sites in both Chernaris and Livonia. Those are the two different maps. A lot of bug fixes, apparently. Infected will no longer clip in and out of a player's character during close quarters combat. That's actually pretty big.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because it was funny. And I'm one of those people. I enjoy DayZ as it is now. Do I think it was better when it was a mod? I think it had more content, but I would say it was not better mechanics wise.
Wow.
Because there was so many people that could not run it at all because it was on like an Arma game. And Arma games, by the way, you need to have like an Intel processor to play it. At least you used to when Arma was like really big. So if you had an AMD processor, like for instance Trey, me and Noah tried to get Trey to play with us. Trey had a better AMD processor than Noah did. Noah didn't have an AMD, he had an Intel, but it was like a really cheap Intel and like a pre-built computer.
Yeah.
Trey, it almost made like Trey's game was unplayable with an AMD processor. With like the little rinky-dink Intel that Noah had, he was able to get by and have a better playing experience than Trey. And it just comes down to Arma was built to run on an Intel processor, not an AMD. But a lot of people also use AMD for gaming. So when DayZ debatably hit a broader market than Arma itself, I think it running off of the Arma engine wasn't the best. Which is why I like that they made a standalone game.
Okay.
That is my last opinion on DayZ.
That's funny.
Yes. So, is there something else you would like to lead us into?
Well, absolutely. We'll soft curve from video games into movies. So they finally showed like a poster for the reboot of Mortal Kombat coming out.
Like the movie Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Actually, it's scarily close though. April 16th is when of this year supposedly is going to come out. They might want to build up the hype train a little bit. April's going to come real quick.
April.
So, very interested to see how that's going to be. So, I think it's going to go to theaters and HBO Max. HBO Max has gotten a lot of movies.
HBO makes good movies.
Yeah, some of them aren't like HBO's originals. They just kind of end up on HBO. Like take like Wonder Woman and well, I know that one has a little bit of like mixed reviews. Did you ever watch the first one, like the original Mortal Kombat movies?
I did.
Like I actually like them. They're cheesy and whatever, but man, those were like, especially the first one was fun. And it's like, say what you will, the soundtrack Mortal Kombat theme song is still holds true to this day. Like I can play it like tonight and people will dance to it. It'd be kind of weird for people randomly dancing to it, but still, it's a good one.
I watched it when I was younger, so I just remember seeing them fighting. I was like, "Is that a lizard guy? What the crap?" That was before I even knew what the game was. And then I played the game with my friend Jalen, who is like, so okay. You know how we say Trey is like the god of video games in our group? Have we ever told you that?
No, not really. I don't think so.
Okay, well, any game Trey picks up, he's instantly good at.
Okay.
Except for Mortal Kombat fighting games. Trey is like a great Smash Brothers player. He sucks at Mortal Kombat games and like any anime fighting game. Those are like the bane of his existence. And it's so funny. What?
No Guilty Gear or BlazBlue for Trey then?
No, absolutely not. Like, it's so funny that he is crazy good at Smash Brothers, but sucks at Mortal Kombat and stuff. But just about any other game you give him, like he'll pick it up and he'll know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It probably comes from all those years of knowing how to play Fire Emblem.
The permaloss of Fire Emblem trains you.
Ooh. Someone... I don't know where I saw this post, but someone spotted on Twitter a Diamond and Pearl 15th anniversary Twitter account for Pokemon.
Interesting.
It was made recently.
Yes.
So it just points further that it's going to be a Diamond and Pearl remake kind of thing for the next Pokemon game, which I'm okay with.
That would be very interesting, especially if because the Pearl cartridge, was it pearlescent or was it just white?
The Pearl cartridge? Yeah. It wasn't white, but it wasn't pearlescent. It was like, it just said Pokemon Pearl on it, and then yeah, it was like a little pinkish.
Okay, yeah, I guess technically pearls can be pink. The more expensive ones, like Mother of Pearl, which is, well, technically Mother of Pearl is the color of inside of an oyster because pearls come from oysters. Anyways, so moving on to it. So there's for those who like the Batman and Superman, have you ever seen those? The original, I'll say original, like famous movies of Batman and Superman. So like Michael Keaton, 1980s, and Christopher Reeves, like 78.
Which one was the Superman one?
Christopher Reeves.
Okay. Let me Google it. Whoa, get out of there. So, yes, And I'll be honest, I think those were like the only Superman movies I liked.
Oh, no, I mean, to be fair, most people like those original ones, to be honest. I do like Man of Steel for what it's worth. I think the rest of the universe kind of went downhill, but I think Man of Steel was a solid movie for the most part.
I did like that one a little bit. I liked the suit a lot in it.
Yeah. And then like Batman, Batman 89 wasn't really my favorite. Love Batman Returns. Batman Returns is one of my favorite Batman movies. But DC Comics is deciding that they're going to do like sequels and basically make comic book versions of these movies. So continuing the continuity, which is very interesting, seeing how Michael Keaton is possibly going to show up in, I think it's Flashpoint or another DC movie, and a lot of people are speculating he's going to be Bruce Wayne to either like Dark Knight Returns, but I'm hoping he's going to be Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond. That would make me very. But with that being said about them, so do you know that AT&T owns DC Comics?
TNT? AT&T?
Yeah. Like they own like the publishing rights to them.
I did not know. That's strange.
It's very strange.
You said like TNT, and I was like, I immediately went to like the channel TNT, but then you were like AT&T. I was like, what's AT&T? I was like, that's the phone place.
Yeah. So what they're planning to do, well, it's all reportedly, but so it's reportedly AT&T is going to let DC Comics die.
Oh, wow.
But some say they might sell it off. So that is some very dangerous territory because it depends on who's going to buy them. Because there's a weird world that we live in where that Marvel could, or not even Marvel, sorry, Disney could buy it. And that is strange and exciting and terrifying and bad and good all mixed into one.
I want Disney to buy it, and then I want them to be the Avengers 2.0.
Well, I mean, if you ever
to be the title,
the Justice League that was Avengers 2.0, like at me and I'll explain. But yeah, it's really strange in that one. So I think Warner Bros. Will still own the rights to the movies, but Disney isn't making any plans or so forth, but it'd be a very weird situation if that was the case.
It would just further them as a monopoly.
That is true. Just this weird thing. So you watched Daredevil and Punisher on Netflix, correct?
I've seen Daredevil, Punisher, and Iron Fist on Netflix.
So the thing about so I liked all of them, all the different shows because of just how they respectively fit within their own like show. And I love the Defenders. I think the Defenders was great. So a lot of people, well, no, it's not a lot. So there's a complaint about Iron Fist, his show, and then there's a complaint about Luke Cage. Luke Cage a lot less, but still was there. And I find it quite funny because while there are now diehard fans of both Luke Cage and Iron Fist, those properties did not do well as comic books. They might have been beloved, but their sales really sucked. And so what Stan Lee and the big brains at Marvel did was like, hey, why don't we combine Luke Cage, the blaxploitation guy, with kung fu bandwagon Iron Fist, and that was what's made Heroes for Hire, and their sales actually skyrocketed from that. And so it was very funny watching their interactions in the show, and those people who are big fans of the comic books were just like, oh my god, one day. So there's a rumor floating around that a lot of the actors from the Netflix show aren't just going to get like fired and thrown to the wayside, but show up finally in other stuff. So again, all rumors, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, but now this is kind of like a hopeful rumor that they're going to make a Luke Cage Iron Fist Heroes for Hire show for Disney Plus. If that's the case, it's a bigger set of glee because that's a good chance for them to finally be officially brought into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Because like when they're in Netflix and then even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they'll go, oh no, it's a part of the MCU. And then nothing was mentioned in the shows. No big names were ever popped up in the shows. It was always just like whatever, half characters and so forth. Yeah, Samuel Jackson showed up. Thanks for throwing us a bone, but like none of the Avengers showed up.
Yeah.
And so like shows like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then even the fact that some of those are going to cross over into like Doctor Strange, well, WandaVision's to be specific. That kind of gives hope that you will see these characters showing up in both worlds, kind of thing. And the supposed sighting of Charlie Cox, aka Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, being on the set of Spider-Man gives rise to some kind of glee as a comic book fan, wanting this universes to be all connected in its own right. Will be fun.
Okay, how do you feel about the like 2020 surgence of everyone and their mom making a streaming service?
So I find it's kind of comical. But it's also I'm kind of conflicted with it because I find it really funny because it's just like, oh, we're gonna pull this off of this network because we're gonna make a streaming service, and because who is it? There's a band that's getting a streaming service, and I was laughing the whole time I was reading it. The Who, maybe. I think it might be like the Who. It might be the Beatles. It's someone in that way. We're just like, really? They're gonna have a whole streaming service for, I mean, either one. Yeah, the Beatles have more content, but it's just like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And so it is kind of weird. It's kind of like, I don't mind it if there's like, because I think what HBO did its streaming service when it comes to like the networks, HBO was doing its own, but it was kind of just like how cable TV had it anyways, like NBC and so forth. You just watch their shows. You have the subscription. You're just watching these shows. So if you have HBO, but then there's like HBO Now, HBO Go, HBO, I don't know, home security systems. It's just really weird. Apple and just, I don't know. Like, and so it's kind of like supply and demand. So, or like say like New York and Las Vegas. If you want it, it's available for you. I guess LA falls into that thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like, because I might not get Disney Plus, but maybe I want HBO or Netflix, and some of these are being bundled up together. But I mean, I don't know, man. 'Cause thinking about like how, if I look at like Amazon Prime, there's like three other, because I can watch there was one movie I wanted to watch on Amazon Prime, and there's three other ones, one for rent, two for joining two different channels subscriptions. It's just like, how many movies in the world are gonna, you know what I mean? Like, how many movies are just gonna be on one thing when they've been out for so long? Because that was the problem with like Disney Plus. They pulled a lot of movies off of Netflix to put onto Disney Plus. So they're kind of like splitting the people from that one. But again, like I think Disney Plus can be bundled with like Hulu and what's the other one? Hulu and HBO, I think.
Possibly.
Which is very weird because of think about like WB stuff is coming to HBO. So you're just like, I don't know, man. It's comical, but it's kind of like, is it really necessary? But sometimes like, to each their own.
I think that it's like you had Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had Hulu. and you had Amazon. To me, those were like the three.
Yeah.
And then it's like I can see Disney doing it because that's a Disney thing to do.
Disney
It really
movies.
it's like
Right.
yeah, we make all these movies, we own Marvel, we have all this money, we own Star Wars. We're gonna make our own service because we have all these different movies anyway. People like they know people just enjoy their movies, so it's like Disney thing to do. I can see that. But then you got like Peacock. I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah,
Is it NBC? I don't know. I think
so. They have the Peacock, so probably yes. I'm gonna go with yeah.
I'll Google it real quick.
Yeah, I think it's NBC. How to do the noise?
Yeah, it is. I think yeah.
Because that was their mascot. For a long.
I don't see why they did it necessarily. Like they have. Wait, do they own Harry Potter? Do they have the rights to Harry Potter?
WB.
Huh. Well,
do they have it now?
You can stream Harry Potter on theirs. So so they took The Office in Parks and Rec basically. I know that much because that's not on Netflix anymore. They took those, and then right here it basically says you can watch Harry Potter. But then it's like they have live sports, powerful drama, and then their thing is Yellowstone. I don't know what that is. And then they have popular favorites, Modern Family. It's like I don't know what half the stuff like. What is this? Oh, but they do have Saturday Night Live. Debatably was better when it was older.
I agree. They do have some hits, but yeah. I'll say like early 90s was some of the Saturday Night Live like gold.
They also have 50 Shades Darker. I can see that. But this is one of the things I don't understand why they needed it kind of thing. Does that make sense?
No, perfect sense.
Because half of their shows I don't even know. Like they have some bangers, but at the same time I think they made the wrong move. I don't think it'll be up as long as the others. It's my stance on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other ones are. I just know I saw that one. I was like, what?
It is a bit strange. I mean, I feel like in some degree, like Disney, I remember when Disney Plus first came out, my buddy got it, and then he just showed me the lineup, and it was this holy crap, they own your childhood. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, there are things in it that I forget were Disney, and then I'm seeing them like, oh my God, I haven't seen this in decades. Like, I think, what was it? One was like Peter Pan and the Pirates or whatever. And it's like, I haven't seen that one in 30 years. If you think about that, like, it's just like, my goodness gracious. And they're just like everything, DuckTales. I mean, just like you name it, where it's just like, these were Saturday morning cartoons. And you're like, or Disney Afternoon is what they would do, where you're just like, you'll watch it after you get off of school or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, and then like all the ABC. And I'm pretty sure they probably will start having like Family Matters and Full House and what they can grab from like the TGIF like lineups.
Bro, I would watch all of Family Matters.
Oh,
Georgia Lopez, everything.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Like Tales from the Crypt Keeper, like that little Saturday morning cartoon was freaking creepy back in the day. Yeah, so I was like, there needs to be some kind of like stopping point. But the thing is that they're going to keep doing it as long as they know that people are going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? I think so they're just going to keep going.
I think they'll find out once more, like everyone's out of quarantine kind of thing. Because I do feel like there's still a lot of people, like rightfully so, in quarantine, still working from home.
Yes.
I think they'll find out once everything goes back to normal that not everyone wants a streaming service for like NBC.
Yeah. I mean, and like it's like I said before, like because what was it? Because I know like Robert's mom would watch like Sleepy Hollow and
I like that.
what was it? And like Criminal Minds and stuff. She would like watch it off, or she like watch Downton Abbey as well, like off of like just on the computer.
Yeah.
But the computer was like granted like internet connection for all it's worth was kind of trash, but also just like it's very unreliable and they do things. So I can understand that. Again, like you have a network, hey, download our app, and the ads and so forth, they're getting ad revenue. As then I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that. It makes it easier, great. But having to like, hey, do you want to pay anything $5.99 a month for BBC? Like, not really. No, not at all.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
So I don't know. Yeah, but I think it will it's like when you introduce blood, like so it's a weird trick people will do where they'll get a not a blood transfusion, they'll get blood removed and they put it on ice, and then after a while when their body recovers, they put their blood back in them, and there's like all these like feel good benefits from it happening. But your body will slowly like equalize back out. And I think that's what it is. It's just this overabundance of options, and then everything will just equalize. And it's like, okay, well, I don't think you really need CBS streaming service for CBS or TBS, even better. Spike TV streaming service. Oh, Food Network streaming service. I think that would cause obesity in the world.
Beastie.
Obesity, yeah.
Oh yeah, no. They would have what America has.
Streamers, yeah, dude. Because I forgot. I tried on my best. I think Netflix has Iron Chef. I think that's what. I think
One of the cool things about Amazon, is that since they're linked to Twitch, you can host like watch parties now.
yes.
So some movies on like if the streamer owns it, they can just stream it. Although some movies you have to like the viewer has to buy it to watch along.
Yeah.
Which debatably I've seen it working for a lot of people. People actually really enjoy those.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been any D&D news?
Yes. And it kind of leads from movies into D&D. So D&D movies still on track to being made. Regé Jean Page is being cast an unknown role right now. He's well known as playing Simon Bassett in the Bridgerton period piece from Netflix, the Duke of Hastings.
I actually had that article pulled up.
Oh, awesome. And so I'm very interested to see him. I really wouldn't mind one of his co-stars, Phoebe. I don't know.
Phoebe?
No, Phoebe. I think he calls you Chloe Phoebe. Phoebe? No, I think it's Phoebe. Is it Phoebe? I don't know.
It's pronounced Phoebe, but
yeah, because it's like Phoenix has the same situation going on, and it's not a Phoenix.
yeah, I've gotten too used to trolling Noah about his like just okay. Looking at Phoebe written on like a paper, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be pronounced that way.
Yeah,
and so Noah was writing his sister's name down. And everyone, like me, Trey, and Matt, all went in on Noah, just messing with him.
But yeah, so I'm interested to see. It's interesting cast shaping up for it. So I'm very interested to see like who's going to play what, like what. I do want either Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms. they can mention others, but like Dragon Alliance, I'm not about it. I'm just, I'll always say it. Well, I'm glad if that's your favorite setting, but you can keep Dragonlance. It's not mine. But that was the problem with like the original Dungeons and Dragons movies. That like one of the things that kind of like got under my skin is that the armor. So some of the people were wearing armor that looked like they were like, how does best describe it? It looked like alien armor. It didn't look like period piece armor. It just looked like some weird alien armor. Like it would fit more into like Dune or something in that thing versus just like armor from the period piece that had stuff in it. But that movie was rife with like issues saying like beholders being used as hound dogs versus being big bads. Just a bunch of weird things. And that's my problem with a Dungeons and Dragons movie is that yes, you can love or hate The Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings series, but at the end of the day, it's a really good fantasy movie series. And even I'll go Witcher and there's one that I can see it in my head. Game of Thrones. While like instead of trying to make it like what's that terrible movie Doom, where it's like we're trying to make a movie and yeah, we're just gonna throw in stuff from these video games. Just make a fantasy movie. Just make a medieval period piece movie and then go, oh, but there's also this stuff that's from the D&D lore. And I think that'd make a great movie versus like making a campy or strange or zany Dungeons and Dragons movie, trying to like pack it full of just whatever they can. It's like that's how it doesn't get taken serious. Like if a show like Game of Thrones, where again there were dragons, but if they like seriously, like if they just took it and just put the ampersand on there and then just made it, of course, a little bit less like rapey and incesty, then it would be a D&D movie. More you know what I mean? More spells being used. Like that's what they could have done versus just going, let's try to make it as strange and forced. I know a lot of people like Firefly, which I think people who are like either know Firefly, it's like, where are you going with this, Colin? But like, so Firefly was the okay show. But one of the big things about that lore was that China became one of the biggest like superpowers. And so when they basically expanded to space, people would speak English, but they also speak Chinese. But the problem with that in the show was that people would be talking and then they would just put this random choppy Chinese in there. And it just didn't feel like it was a part of it. It was just like, it just kind of broke it up. It's like, oh, we got to remember that we have to speak Chinese somewhere. So it's just kind of like, yeah, and he's going to eat all of my meshi, which is, you know, like using Japanese that way. So it's just like, it just felt forced where they're just like, we have to use this one Chinese word just to make it feel that way. And it's just, I don't know. And so I don't want it to be that where it's just like, yeah, we have to go use magic missile to save the you know what I mean? Just like, what?
Yeah.
It's just, what is that monster? It looks like a beholder. So just make it as organic and not, for the love of God, not isekai. Just throw us in it and just hope that we understand it. Like, don't be I'm a little boy trying to get back home. Like, no, just, this is the world. Roll the dice. Literally, just roll the dice and see if it comes to be a good movie. Just write it well, but I don't know. I will keep it. I'll keep an open mind until the first like teaser trailer drops, or if they give a synopsis of what it is. And if it just goes, young kid trying to find way back home, like, after Tommy ran into a library and opened a book, but we'll see.
Wasn't there supposed to be another D&D book coming out soonish?
From Salvatore or from the which one? Because I know there's supposed to be
the Candlekeep one.
Okay. So like material, like D&D material. Yes. It's your Candlekeep. March, right? Like right around the corner, I thought.
I think so. I haven't heard anything else. That's why I was asking. Candlekeep Mysteries. Yeah, March 16th. That's like, what, 4 weeks?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, February, March. Jeez, yeah.
Looks like we're going to have to get another D&D book, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I must say I do enjoy what Tasha has brought so far, so.
Indeed. I'm going to have to, like, troll Cody. I don't know why. Just I feel like I need to. I have the urge.
I'm kind of excited about 2024. I know, hold your horses and see what 2021 has in store, but because 2024, there's two things that happen. One, Dungeons and Dragons officially becomes 50 years old, which is crazy to think about. But two, Mickey Mouse becomes, I think, 100 years old, so he can be used. He loses his he goes to fair use, whatever, or free domain, public domain. And that is funny. I just want to see what happens when that happens.
I have no idea what's gonna happen when that happens.
I don't know.
He gets put in the D&D for the lulz.
Oh my gosh. I like it's very interesting. Like I'm very celebratory when it comes to people becoming a part of D&D lore.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joe Manganiello and his what's his name? I could have said it if I didn't think about it. His Dragonborn. I can't think of his name. Archon the Cruel.
He has a Dragonborn that was like D&D lore now.
Yeah. So they made him
Bro,
D&D lore.
that's your goals.
And so like Acquisition Incorporated their stuff. So I do like that to some degree, where it's just like that's cool that they get to be a part of the lore that they love. But on the other hand of it, it's just kind of like, well, it's not the lore that I wish for it to be, because there's some characters that are goofy and just silly. I'm like, that's not official for me. Like as a canon as it wants to be.
Okay. What if Nazir was lore, right? Canon. How would you feel about that?
Well, that's fine.
Honest opinion. What?
No, that's what. I mean, because there's a bias. Because there is a bias. Nazir's story is I mean, while it's your character, it's our story. Like it's the party's story. You know what I mean? It's your party's stories. It's your DM's story, because of the stuff that's has happened has shaped Nazir. While it's your creation, there are some parts and it's like, this is what Nazir has become. So in its own right, then yeah, I'm fine with it. But again, I understand if there's a person who's not a part of our party going, why is this goofy Dragonborn guy? I don't like him. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a part of my canon. So, like, I can understand that same aspect. Well, I'll be like, that's cool.
There will be a war. A second war.
A second war. A greater war.
After Calanthra, we will have to fight. Again.
1K or AK after Calanthra. But yeah, do you have any other news or points, since it's 11:34?
I do. I have one question, because this is a question that I feel most DMs have a different answer to.
Okay.
Relating to D&D. And I have this question because I was asking myself this question. So I was like, okay, so I'll pose it to you as like, this is the thing. Your character, one of your players' characters, right, has a set thing to accomplish when when their characters accomplish this thing, would you allow them just to say like their character goes on to do so and so, and they just make a new character to play with?
Not really, because it has to be something like I don't know, like character ending, because the concept is like the characters themselves are also adventurers. Like I kind of like the idea of if they can find the resolve of like being an adventurer and then find the resolution of their story, then they kind of march on towards being like better, basically bigger influences in the world. So like you have your character in the different tiers of play. So usually they're trying to figure out like who killed their father, and killing whoever killed their father might not even be a big bad. But as they've set themselves to be adventurers, then that kind of goes on to what they might be. And I kind of take the war orphans in my game, because that's one of the characters' grandfather, and then there's a few other characters that are part of war orphans, and these guys basically went to level 20 or to level whatever they felt that was enough, and then that's when they settled down and had kids, kind of thing. But along the way, they resolved each other's problems and then helped the world, and then kind of became like, okay, now I'm going to retire as an adventurer and just be kind of like a homebody or farmer or a owner of the Adventure League kind of thing, or Adventures Guild.
I was just curious because I saw someone else do it in like a YouTube video. I can't recall the exact video.
Yeah.
I was like, I was wondering how you would do it, knowing how me and you both are sort of like, you play this character till he dies.
Yeah. I mean, like, and it would have to fall to a certain thing. Like, I mean, like if the character is basically living on borrowed time in its own right, or the character has already said like, well, I don't think I'm not doing this to make it out alive, or you know what I mean, they're playing the tragic hero in that same way. They're looking for redemption. You have a character that has lost his whole company, and granted, like, it's very funny when people go, they make their backstories where it's like, I was this guy and did all this great stuff, and I'm a hero and this and this, and I killed a dragon. I'm level 1. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, oh, did you though? So I think in that aspect, if the character is just like, you know, like whatever tragic thing, or, and I mean, it doesn't have to really be edgy, but the concept of like, if you're in war and you've watched so many of your allies or some of your teammates die, and you feel the Raven Queen is playing a trick on you, or you want to die, but you don't want to just die by like a goblin hitting you or being eaten by a gelatinous cube. You want it to be as glorious in the most amazing way possible. So that's what you're looking for, but you're going to do it in a way that's not selfish for your teammates, because again, you don't want to betray them. You want to make sure that this death means something. So that character is already set up for something phenomenal. And that also creates this drive where the player isn't going to just go, all right, I got down by a kobold, bleh, I'll change characters. Like, you know what I mean? They still have the stake to want to be something. That's one of the big things when I have like a character, a player pick a character. It's like, what is their drive? Like, what's driving them beyond like just being an adventurer? Is it beyond their backstories? Is it something that they're like, I want to do blank for the world? Be it the evil characters, like I want to subjugate the world, or Thanos saying, I want to destroy the world, or I want to be the beacon of hope for all mankind, kind of thing, and that kind of concept.
You see, that kind of leads back into like with Nazir.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was one of the things I also thought of thinking of that video, is like, how, like, what is Nazir going to do after he goes to Calanthra? Which is why he went to the Great Father and was like, hey, I want to help you. For the people that don't know, the Great Father is an ancient red dragon who was very strong, big boy. Potentially could be a big bad evil guy in some other campaign.
Yeah, that's true. The thing I like about him is that the fact is that he is essentially at death's door.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't know how long it takes for a dragon on its deathbed to die.
Yeah.
Because they're so long lived, is the concept of like an ant probably goes, man, humans live forever. But so the idea where he's just like, man, not enough time to burn enough people, kind of thing.
But that's why he asked him that, like, will you make me your champion thing? It's because once he gets done with Calanthra, I don't think Nazir wants to stay there, kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, yes, we can go on to our final segment.
Okay. Yeah. So the final segment, for those who are new, or for those who enjoy it, is what are you watching, playing, reading, listening to? All right. So what you got for us?
Watching? Nothing. No. Waiting for ReZero to come out tomorrow. Been keeping up with that. Been keeping up with Skate the Infinity. Mushoku Tensei has been getting really good. Again, China doesn't know what they're talking about. Jujutsu Kaisen. I think this next episode we're finally gonna get to see Yuji fight again. The main character. Okay. If that's his name. I've forgotten his name. I haven't seen him in like 2 episodes. That is how long it takes for me to forget. Ooh. I think tomorrow another episode of The Promised Neverland comes out. If it's not tomorrow, then it's Thursday.
Okay.
The last episode was a recap. Yeah. And it's only 5 episodes in. So it's kind of like, why do we need a recap?
Recap episodes are the sins of anime.
They are. Now, I will say, it covered some of like the past season, but at the same time, we don't need that.
There was, to interrupt you, there was an anime. It wasn't Inuyasha. It was, I can't think of it. So they were doing a recap episode.
Mm-hmm.
Within the recap episode, they were actually showing basically new content as well. The characters were doing
Piece.
Maybe One Piece. There's one. I don't remember if One Piece has done it with recap episodes.
According to Trey and Matt, One Piece is like a lot of recap.
Yeah. Oh no. So with One Piece, it will be like 15 minutes of recap. And first it starts off with just the whole Gold Rogers and explaining like Gold Rogers talking about the world One Piece, and then going into like what Luffy has done, and then goes into the opening, and you're just like, okay, so there's only about a good like 15 minutes of an actual show. Yeah, especially with the 15th anniversary, it was just like all just fluff and like, what are we doing?
That's why if I did like One Piece, I would do the manga, but I don't like One Piece, so I'm not doing any of it.
Makes sense. That is how things liking to like works, I guess. That is true. It's fun.
I need to watch Redo of Healer because you've been talking about it so much.
Yeah, I'll get to
what makes it interesting is the fact that I see that it has a uncensored version on this website.
Yes, it does. So there's 3 different versions. The one that's just for like regular TV, then there's a like late night version, and then there's just the full balls to the wall uncensored version.
How long is 600 seconds, do you think?
600 seconds.
Maybe like 10 minutes.
Something like that. Yeah, because you're going up one. Yeah, so 60. Yeah, because 60 seconds is a minute. So yeah, we'll go there.
Josh said One Piece is good in the chat, and I was just like, time out, just to mess with him.
Oh, you just timed him out?
Yeah, I timed him out in the chat for 600 seconds. I removed it. I just wanted to see what he do. Yeah, I'm waiting for ReZero. ReZero, easily gonna be my favorite anime of this year, probably. ReZero, I think, trumps Bleach in the tier list, but not Fate. Reading articles, Horimiya, Boku no Hero, those are getting good. Listening to, been listening to, like, I guess, best moments of Critical Role.
Okay.
Not really like the whole sessions, just like the best moments of Grog or the best moments of Caleb when the guests and stuff like that. When the guest. Playing a lot of Apex. We only have a few more days left to grind out for the special skins of the lunar season. And I need them. What else? Have I played any other games? I don't think so. Oh, Rocket League. I played Rocket League, and it's making me angry with how much I'm winning, and it's not ranking me up enough.
That's kind of fun.
Like I said, I made everyone rage quit. While doing my 10 ranking matches, literally only one person stayed till the end of the match, and I won every single one. And they still put me in gold. I'm like, really? Really? I was not in gold in solos. I was at least, like, I was either right below diamond or diamond. Because I know I started out as diamond at one point. And then Josh said we played Siege once. And then promptly rage quit. I can assure you that.
It's kind of funny.
Because we're so used to playing Apex right now that the movement in Siege just doesn't cut it.
Yes.
But apparently to him, we did really good. We lost one and we won one, so we went neutral. You can't just say we won. Okay, your turn.
With me, so we already know. Yes, so let's go with watching. So, different things. Obviously, I'm on a Smosh, not the skits, but more again, just like their other ones, Smosh Pit, Smosh Games, and so forth. Just the goofy stuff they do. And then of course, Good Mythical Morning. I'm catching a lot more of that often. It's like Mythical Kitchen. And then so redo of Healer. Boy, if you think Goblin Slayer was intense, well, I still think Goblin Slayer is more brutal than it. It's in that same neighborhood. Like, it's in the same messed up anime neighborhood. And the controversy that comes out from it. And it falls into that same thing where, so Goblin Slayer, just the dark themes and that they have in there, but then there's phenomenal action. You know what I mean? And then just the way that they depict magic is very unique. And so the redo of Healer does the same thing. Like, the depiction of magic is really interesting, and some of the action scenes well, I'm not going to go like Fate movies. I will go, there's some scenes that remind me of like Fate the show.
Which Fate the show?
Just the first Fate Stay Night.
Oh, okay. Not Unlimited Blade Works?
No, we're not sitting on that level.
Okay, because Unlimited Blade Works, Like you said movies, you mean just Ufotable. Ufotable, the company. Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, they're not on that level yet. Just some of the scenes remind me of just like quick scenes from it. Yeah.
You die if you're killed like that.
Yes. Die if you're killed. I mean, if you think about it, that's pretty deep.
No, it's not. It's pretty surface level.
I mean, you don't come back. Maybe that's what he's trying to say.
No, I think he was just struggling to comprehend
the true gravity of what he said wrong. I think with music. So what I've been listening to though is it's really because I do like listening to like what is it called? Basically like fusioned audio. So say that if it's like, because I used to make it, well I still do. So like I like crickets and campfires, but I also like jazz and rain. So I've been listening to these ones like that, and then it's just like, how about old 1950s music playing in a different room while it rains? I'm like, what does that sound like? And then I wake up in the morning because I fell asleep listening to this beautiful classic music. And like the new one that is very dangerous for me to stay awake is it's what's it called? It's oldies playing in the car while it's raining. And it's just phenomenal. And you can hear like the cars, and it's done really well, so it doesn't sound like just a regular car roof. It sounds like an old like an oldie car, like a 40s, 50s car.
Yeah.
Really phenomenal audio. Whoever mixed it did a phenomenal job. I'm with it. I'll go real quick.
Well.
All right, and so playing again. Too busy doing some writing for D&D to really be playing right offhand anything. So playing will always, for right now, go to Dungeons and Dragons.
We be keeping you on your toes, don't we?
Yes and no.
You keep us on our toes too, I'm just saying.
I will go ahead.
I will say, you know how I've been like it has to have been, when did we start the Shadowfell?
Let me see. Probably.
Actually, no. It can't. It's not even the Shadowfell. All the way back to Crown, going to Crown.
Okay.
We've been hinting at something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think me and Cody are on the same page to do it, or to set up to do it.
You're talking about a heist?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So wait, a heist round?
No. We were not sure of that yet. I think it's mostly lay out the plan so Noah doesn't accidentally destroy something that we need for the plan.
Is it going to be like a copy paste heist, or is it just like, we want to do a heist? Hey, we're here. Let's just do a heist here, and just pick like a random place to do heists.
I don't know, because I kind of want to do a heist of like a place that has like a magic academy, maybe. I don't know, a place that has items that could be potentially should be in our hands. Anyway, continue, and then we'll.
Oh no, it's just the sheer joy of the previous, or like the last session. I still feel like I'm riding on the high of just the wonderful twists and turns that were presented.
Indeed. I feel like the heist, like, you may think that we don't have it planned out, but I posed this to Cody, and for once Cody was like, I'm in. I came up with this plan, and I told it to Cody. He didn't have anything to like say like anything bad about it. Does that make sense? He
Yeah.
couldn't pick it apart with how well I had designed it.
Okay.
Now I'm sure there will be minute changes, but I feel like the overall thing will work with anything, kind of. Yeah. And I say minute changes because we don't know where we're going to implement it at yet. But we've been sitting on it.
Yeah. The great crown heist. The great chandelier. I can't think of other words like heist. Debacle.
I feel like we should do it in Waterdeep.
Maybe. Waterdeep has some villains.
I don't think we should do it in Crown. I think Suthel's had enough of us.
I mean, I guess if you don't mess with Suthril, then technically he doesn't care.
Wasn't there a big bank on the way to Crown?
There's a big bank in Crown. It's the Treasury and the Great Library.
Is there any magic item places that we might plunder?
That I do not know. DM Astris.
Dang it. I will say this plan relies mostly on the Zir and Gion. And a few odds and ends that we need. And I'll explain it after. Because I kind of want to tell you about it. I don't know. Do you want me to tell you about it, or you want to just wait till Sunday?
I mean, your choice. Dealer's choice.
Okay. I don't know. I'll flip a coin. Because I've been holding it in for a few months. And I kind of feel like we already gave it away with us stopping Noah. So all hearted leans. Whoa, bro! I don't know if you can do all that now.
Fine.
But if you have your favorite DM moment as a scheme within the past, we'll say 2020, but we can include the past few months, like so January and February. Your favorite DM scheme, 2020 and January, February, what was it? Scheme is in like any idea that we ran into.
Let's see. Favorite DM schemes. Because so many, the year has merged slowly together like a hot chocolate bar in a car.
We started the year off leaving Crown.
Yes. So I would say that technically, the scales, Great Father giving you the scales, while is a long-term scheme because it's obscure thing of the 10 pounds of scales that have to be given by a chromatic dragon.
Only a chromatic dragon, because wasn't it a Tiamat thing?
Yeah, like there's people who are upset because gold dragons don't give it to them. But it's like that's kind of the point because gold dragon, well, not gold, but metallic dragons was like they're all nice and they're just like, hey, yeah, you can have my scales, you know what I mean? So it's just like, what are the odds that a player is going to be good and get that scales amount? And what I love is that typing it into like Google, it gives you like how much is the price of dragon scales because my players, you know what I mean? So it's like people selling dragon scales, and it's kind of the concept like you fools don't know what you have. But at the same time, they probably got it from like dead dragons or whatever reason.
Because it has to be given. You can't just take it.
Exactly. Has to be given to you. That's the way how it plays out. So that one coming to fruition was kind of fun.
So does the Drake smell like the Great Father?
He smells related to him. Like there's a sense. Like if you're around another dragon, then they're like, okay, we know where that came from. If they know of the Great Father,
Then they'll know not to fuck with me.
Unless it's an upstart. Because again, you've never met Balgaris and how he cares or care.
Bulgaris, from my understanding, isn't as cool as the Great Father. Therefore, he gets no respect.
I'll give you that. His maliciousness was fun to RP though. I would have to say. I think just the concepts of like, oh, we're gonna tell you what we want, and he's like, you know what? I'm too red for this. Let me show you what I think.
Ooh, this is the dumbest idea, but instead of a bank heist, we do it as a Great Father horde heist.
Oh yeah, that's a real dumb idea. Or should I play the DM and go, you can try?
No, because we already know it's dumb. We're not going to do that.
See, it's very funny because if Galarian was there and he flipped his coin and he saw like what the Great Father's coins look like, I think I would have to make him do like a wisdom check or even a wisdom saving throw or the concept of how much gold is there.
Well, that idea or thought would be a nice place to leave it, I think.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you would like to say before I end this off?
Everyone have a good night and thanks for joining us.
Alrighty. So if you enjoyed the podcast, please hit the follow button. If you want to watch previous podcasts, you can find them over at Oni Central at youtube.com or the PiP Podcast at YouTube or Facebook. If you would like to watch us live again, we live stream every Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every other Friday with a guest, same time, same place. And yeah, see ya.